Sir William Arthur Lewis was born in St. Lucia on January 23, 1915. His parents were immigrants that were both school teachers, and he was intellectually gifted and his progress in schools accelerated. After suffering from an ailment when he was 7, his father homeschooled him so he didn't fall behind. His father taught him in 3 months what it would have taken the school to teach in 2 years. His father, however, died before he turned 8, and his highly disciplined, hard-working, loving mother had to ensure the success of him and his 4 brothers. Upon returning to school after the ailment, he was shifted 2 grades up. From then on, he was always in contact with fellow workers and students who were 2 to 3 years older than him. In 1932, he won a scholarship to study at a British university. However, this was difficult because the British government imposed a colour ban in its colonies, so young blacks only went in to study law or medicine, which he wanted to study neither. He wanted to be an engineer, so this seemed pointless. Eventually, he decided to study business administration and planned to return to St. Lucia for a job in municipal service. He also decided, however, to simultaneously study law to fall back on if nothing administrative turned up. He eventually went to London School of Economics to do the Bachelor of Commerce degree, which offered accounting, business management, commercial law, etc. Unfortunately, he saw the weakness in this later, that it lacked mathematics. With no prior knowledge in economics, he graduated in 1937 with first-class honors. He was then granted a scholarship by LSE to do a PhD in industrial economics. This is when his career began to take off. Eventually, Lewis served as an economic advisor to numerous African and Caribbean governments, such as Nigeria, Ghana, Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, and Barbados. He married his wife Gladys in 1947, who he shares 2 children with. His research work has been in 3 areas mostly, but not limited to: industrial economics, which he dropped after 1948, the history of the world economy since 1870, which he started studying in 1944 and still pursued until his death, and in development economics, which he didn't begin systematically until about 1950. In 1979, he won the Nobel Prize along with Theodore Schultz for pioneering research into economic development with particular consideration of the problems of developing countries. He was the only black student at the time at the London School of Economics, and despite prejudices, he soon earned a reputation for academic excellence. He is also greatly known for the Lewis model and the theory of economic growth. However, the Lewis model can be said to be the biggest contribution that he made to economics. In the Lewis model, he discusses the concept of a dual economy in a poor country. According to Lewis, the poor country's economy can be thought as containing 2 sectors, a small capitalist sector and a very large traditional sector. Employers in the capitalist sector hire people to make the money, and employers in the traditional sector are not profit maximizing, therefore hire too many people, so their productivity is very low. He believes that the gist of the model is that capitalists save out of their profits and use saving to expand, which then adds to growth. A very important aspect of the model is that he believes in the surplus labor, in which he assumes that workers in the agricultural sector save nothing, and so the only source of saving is the capitalists in manufacturing. This, however, has gotten major criticism as economists such as T. Schultz believe that it is highly unlikely that there is the notion of surplus labor. A more classical view, however, argues that unlimited labor supply at subsistent wage is actually available. He began working on problems of the world economy at the suggestion of Friedrich Hayek, which was the then chairman of the London School of Economics. He was also a critic of laissez-faire economic policies, which puts him in contrast to the physiocrats and Adam Smith, but similar to Maynard Keynes and the likes.